All right, so I had a subscriber email me and said, you should do a video where you ask your subscribers, those who have been stacking, what they feel is enough. How much silver is enough? How many ounces? And I'm going to tell you what I think's enough. But first and foremost, when I was doing that video the other day about the big problem, Trump met with Obama in the White House, and Obama mentioned him. The country faces a big problem, and when asked Trump, the media asked Trump, "Well, what's this problem?" He said, "I think you should probably ask him," as in Obama. That story. And I said to you, I don't know how I missed that. I couldn't. I don't know how I missed that one. It was from December 9th or something like that. That actually came from Big Swear. And I've been every now and then we'll email each other, right, back and forth. And because I've given him, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've given him a little bit of crap, nothing nasty or anything, just my opinion to him. Hey, look, there's no good guys. This whole good guy stuff you talk about, the club runs everything. Even if there were some good guys who tried to overthrow them, it's not gonna happen. It's just not the way it's gonna go. That's what history shows me. That's why I always say that. And I was just telling him a second ago, I just did an email reply back to him right before I started this video. And I told him, I said, look, Bix, you're going to be getting, let me give you the exact, what did I say to him? I'll be giving you more credit than you can imagine as far as the good guy thing, his road to Ruta theory, right? When I see Trump walk into that White House. And I actually added more to that at first. I said, and he lives for at least a few months and tries to get some stuff done. But I said, no, in all fairness, him getting elected should be enough for Big Swear to get his credit that there are good guys out there and they're trying to get rid of these bad guys. And here's my stance on that real quick. I don't think that there's not good guys anywhere. The problem is the bad guys are at the very top. So even if one layer lower than them is a good guy, you can't get rid of his boss. You can't tell the boss to go pound sand. I don't like you. You're a bad guy. You're doing bad thing. It doesn't work that way. So what does the guy below him do? The only thing he can do, leak information, give stuff to WikiLeaks, etc., etc. So I do believe there's good guys, but the ones at the top are the bad guys. So how are they dealt with? And there's a lot of them. So that's why I always say I don't believe this whole good guy stuff. They're going to take over and fix everything. History tells me that that's not going to happen. That's why I've been saying so many times. But I do have to give him credit for that story. Because that's where I got it from the BBC or whatever. And I will be doing a video as soon as I see Trump in that White House getting busy. Like first, second day, Bix nailed it. He was right. There are good guys. They've somehow managed to take control. Doom has been averted, etc. It's a good day. That's going to be the video. And believe me, I want that to happen more than anything. Like I've said before. Who wants doom and gloom, really? I mean, seriously, who wants that? I mean, you might even say, well, actually, this planet does need to be cleansed a little bit. There's some sick people here. We got some problems. This planet needs to flick a few fleas off its back, if you know what I mean. And I could see that valid argument. Matter of fact, I might even be on the same page as you on that, but that's a different day, different story. So, how much silver is enough silver? And that's a very good question. But there's not going to be a right answer. There's not going to be a right answer, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to give you my answer. I feel that 500 ounces, and it depends on your age. I mean, it depends on a lot of stuff. If you're like on the verge of retirement or something, you probably need more than 500 ounces. If you're not on the verge of retirement, you could probably get away with 500 ounces. If I was anybody out there, and just if I had one quick answer, someone said, "What's the magic number? What would you try to shoot for?" I would tell everybody to try to shoot for 1,000 ounces. And I understand it's difficult right now. Let's round off silver to $20. It's $20,000. 1,000 ounces, $20, $20,000. But the way I look at this is, I know precious metals are going to rise drastically at some point. What I cannot say, and no one else can say, unless you're the club and you know when you're going to do this, is when specifically are we going to see these giant moves? And when we see these moves, where does it end? How are we going to know we're at the top? These are all questions that I cannot answer, unfortunately. I cannot tell you. What I can refer to you is some old Webbot reports that have said we see $5 a day moves coming in silver. We will then see $20 moves in silver per day. And we see price ranges, according to Webbot, of approximately around $600 an ounce. There's going to be some extreme volatility at some point where briefly it may spike way past that, come back down, etc. But generally speaking, it was like $600 an ounce. And then maybe once everything's settled down and okay, things are kind of settling down, it might be $200 to $300 an ounce. So even if you sold at $200 and $300 an ounce, in other words, you missed the 600 for some reason, I don't know how, and then it came down, you're not going to be real upset if it's $200 an ounce. And today it's less than $20 an ounce. So let me get out my handy dandy calculator just to give you some scenarios. You're talking, and I'm not going to calculate what the price is today. I'm not talking about that. We're just going to talk how many ounces does someone have today, let's say, or by sometime next year before things get crazy or so, let's say. You've got 1,000. You got 1,000 ounces. The price of silver is $200. You now have $200,000. So if you're a person that's been living at the poverty line, a little above the poverty line, maybe your salary is $25,000, $35,000 a year. You could say, wow, a lump sum of $200K would do me very, very well. I'd be very happy with that. So in my case, I like 1,000 ounces too. That's going to be my magic number. At the same time, you might say, some other situation, whatever it may be, someone who is a little opposite of that. They're making $40,000, $50,000 a year, living, and of course I'm not talking California because you'd be dirt poor making $40,000 over there. Unless you live with people chipping in. Just I'm giving you some general, examples here. I'm not talking extreme, New York City, San Francisco. I'm talking, generally speaking, across the U.S., average salaries, etc. And that would assume a $50,000 a year salary would be someone who can afford a house payment and keep their stuff paid. An average house, average car, they can pay their bills. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of person. So we just had a 25, 30K example where 200,000 is fantastic. They might even say 100,000 is great. Oh, I could live off that for a long time. I'm happy with that. You can get someone that makes maybe 40, 50, 60,000, but they own their house. They've already paid it off. By the time, let's say in the next few years, $200 silver comes. That same $200,000 that they get, because they have 1,000 ounces too, may do them way better than any other example because their house is paid off. So you have to add things in there. Everyone's going to be different. Well, I'm renting, but I plan on buying a house, and the house I plan on buying should be in this price range. There's a lot of what ifs. What's the housing market going to be at, prices-wise, when silver's, quite high? So here's the other example. 500 ounces, okay? Do it right now. 500 ounces times $500. $250,000. So you actually just made $50,000 more than the other example with half the amount of silver, 500 ounces. But that's also at $500 an ounce. When silver going to be at $500 an ounce? Will it ever be at $500 an ounce? Webbot seems to think so. And again, when they destroy this financial system of the world, they already know, the club knows, they have to back it by a hard asset that everyone in the world is going to say, we accept that as the asset. What do you suppose it's going to be? I'll give you a hint. It's shiny in the color of yellow, gold, silver, precious metals, etc. That's what they're going to back it by. This is not the first time this has happened. It's not the first time countries decide to use paper money backed by nothing. Gold will always balance the balance sheets of the world's countries. So if you look at the amount of debt we have now in the world, the price you would have to have for gold and silver would be so astronomical that you're never going to see those prices. I'm just going to say it. It'd be so high, It'd blow your mind. Gold would have to be tens of thousands of dollars per ounce, maybe $50,000, $60,000. I don't even know the math right now, per ounce. Silver, in that same respect, would be thousands of dollars an ounce. Okay? So imagine having 1,000 ounces or 500 ounces, and the price of silver is right at $1,000. You now have $500,000 if you had 500 ounces. The issue is, what's silver worth when you need it? Buy silver and I need it now. That's going to be the key. But everyone has their kind of mindset of, well, I'd like to have this much. And I'd be honest and tell you what I'd like to have. And I'll be super honest with you again. I don't have this amount of silver, but I'd like to have 2,000 ounces. I'd feel real nice having 2,000 ounces, but I do not have, even, I'll be honest, even close to 2,000, okay? That's me telling you the truth. I'd like to do that. I really would. So I struggle right now a little bit saying, do I take like some of this extra YouTube money I get from these advertisements, thanks to my guys and girls, appreciate that. Do I take some of that money? Because that does help me pay my rent, etc. But I have a good paying job too, so all this helps. Everything's wonderful. And I'm thinking, dump a bunch more on silver. Prices are fantastic right now. Or sit it in that bank account. Because I do want to get a house. I want to get my dream property if possible. I'd like to do this within the next couple of years if possible. But I don't know if I can or not. And again, I may just sit here in this house renting it for the next two plus years. We already signed the lease for next year. I should probably tell them, look, give me a 2-year lease. I can break it for $1,800 anyways. Who knows? But there's a lot of what ifs. What's the housing market worth? Is my job still around? It should be. You know, a lot of things we just can't answer. But we know what the club wants to do. And even if Donald Trump comes in and, sorry, New World Order, we're not doing it your way, not happening. It does not at all affect the $20 trillion in debt. And Donald Trump is ready to go in there and spend like a drunken sailor. He's ready to do stimulus for the people, not the banks. Okay? So what we saw over the last 8 years, he's ready to do that, but for the people. Okay? It still doesn't change the fact that that's more debt. And I gave you the example before. In 8 short years, we took 10 trillion, made it 20 trillion. Okay? If we apply the same math, because we have to, since all previous governments have always spent more and more and more, national debt went up. You'd be a fool to say that's not going to happen. So we would assume everything's being cut by half, shorter amount of time. That would mean in 8 years, a $20 trillion debt would be 40 trillion. And we'd have to, of course, pay the interest on that debt, which is taking money away from where it's needed in the country. So all this, they know they have to implode it. They have to destroy this thing. Let's start over. We're all out of debt. And now that we're all out of debt, and it's going to be financially painful, now we back our currencies and whatever. Maybe there's a 2-tier system where you have, for example, US dollar or some new dollar that comes in for America. We use it locally. And then we have an international trading system. Maybe it's the SDR, which again still has to be backed by gold. The IMF, the IMF. I wonder if I can get the numbers. IMF used to be number 2. Countries with the most gold. See if we can. Forbes 2006 is earlier this year. Let's see what Forbes has to say. There used to be America at the top, by the way. Japan 768. Switzerland. Scroll down. We have France, number 4. Let me pause this video because it just stopped at number 4 and I don't see the rest of us. Hang on. Alright, here we go. This is from WikiLeaks. I always want to say WikiLeaks. I don't know why. Wikipedia. This has been updated. Top 40 according to the World Gold Council's latest rankings as of September 2016. So this is very recently. It says United States has 8,133 tons. Germany, 3,377 tons. International Monetary Fund, 2,814. It's third place. Somebody explain to me how a privately owned company, okay, IMF, is third place with its gold holdings against the G, in this case, the G40, the G5, the G7, the G10, whatever. They're number 3. They're going to be in every one of these charts. So, and these are, of course, from the World Gold Council. Who knows how accurate these are, because I know China's been buying, they say China is number 6. I don't know if I'm buying that. Nonetheless, my point was that the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, is third freaking place with gold. Why would they do that? Because in my opinion, they're going to be the ones that's going to be the new world currency essentially for countries. And we may have a two-tier system, like I said, where each country has its internal monetary system. But the beautiful thing about precious metals is it's universal. Again, if you lived in Venezuela, which is my next video, I got to do another one. They're bringing out the National Guard now over there. It's bad. You'd be living large with some precious metals, okay? It protects you against those kinds of things, country collapsing, currency collapsing, all that stuff. That's what it's there for. So I don't know that I'm going to say I'm buying, purchasing all this gold, or excuse me, silver for myself and my family, so that I'm treating it like a stock market, like it's going to go up in a few years and then I'm going to sell it and retire on it. That was never how I really looked at it. I always looked at it as I need some protection for my this protect my livelihood, my financial livelihood, should an event like Venezuela or whatever happen here, even if it's not to that level. What if we woke up today and things got, dollars devalued 50%, have a nice day. Whoa, what just happened? That means your silver and gold just went up by just as much, 50%. Basically doubled. You could say, actually, so it's not 50%. But I still would say, if anyone just asked me, how much should I try to get? Shoot for 500 ounces. If you can get 500 ounces, shoot for 1,000. I really think 1,000 should be kind of the magic number, no matter your situation. That's my personal opinion. At the same time, 500 will do well when all this goes down. But then that's the next question. When does this go down? If someone's ready to retire in the next 5 years and they need to unload it in the next 5 years, but silver's not $300-400, maybe it's only $100. That's different for a guy like me. I'm about to be 39 years old. I got a while to go. I could wait 15-20 years if I had to, right? I don't see prices having to, wait that long to jump up. I mean, again, national debt doubled in 8 years. We're going to do, if we do it again, it's going to double. It might even double in half the time. We might see crazy numbers in half the time, 4 years. So, right? None of that stuff's affected. National debt's not affected. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all those unfunded liabilities. What are we going to do about that? Gold and silver is going to protect you. So again, 500 ounces. Once you meet that goal, go for 1,000. Because why not? But like I said, I do have to have some cash, either that or if I just keep collecting silver. And then when the day comes, okay, I'm ready to get a house, unload some silver. Now that I've unloaded the silver, go get the house. Now, the good news is because prices are, $16 right now, 16 freaking bucks, I'm really considering buying some more because, again, I could sell it later if I need that cash all of a sudden to get some kind of property or something because I need to move, even though silver's not necessarily at the price I need it to be at. Maybe it's up a little bit. I at least can take it and sell it. Now, if you bought at $30 an ounce and are sitting on it, you wouldn't want to sell it anytime in the near future when it's 16, 17 bucks. That's going to hurt. So in my case, again, I met my goals and whatnot with my purchases of silver. So I can afford to buy more and then sell it later if I need to. Now what would suck as if it $16 now. And then the club, okay, we're letting loose on the global economy, and temporarily gold and silver are going to get nailed like you've never believed. Super, super low prices. And that's what I'm going to say, damn it, I should have waited. We all are going to say that. That's what we always. That's what anyone says when you miss a good deal, right? You're certainly not going to go sell now. Oh, that's $10. I'm going to go sell because I got to get this house. No, because I'm losing $6 an ounce. Doesn't make sense. That's why the other side of me is saying maybe you ought to build up some cash. So another side, a third side is, well, if I do build up the cash, I keep every month, keep building it up, keep building it up, and I'm watching the price of silver every single day. If I start to see it, oh man, it's getting back up to $18, $19. Okay, let me go ahead and buy it now. Clearly $16 was the low. Let me go buy some more now before it keeps going up. I can make a decision like that. But then again, I'm going to say, damn it, I lost $2 an ounce. That's why I always say there's never such a thing as not a good time to buy silver or gold. It's just like treat it like an investment or a 401k, in that every week my paycheck or whatever your paycheck, every 2 weeks, every month, a little percentage is going off into your retirement. You could look at it that way. You're not looking, oh, the Dow's down today, 200 points. Uh-oh, I'm not going to put in this week. No, you don't have a choice. It's going in a certain amount of your paycheck every freaking week. End of story. You could do the same thing with gold or silver. I'm putting X amount in here. I don't care what the price is. I'm just going to keep buying into this. The nice thing about it, though, is you don't have to have it keep coming out of your check every week where you're saying, well, the market took $500 point or 500 point bath today. I don't want to put in, oh, sorry, it's automated by your HR department handling it through Fidelity or whoever. Nope. If you're handling it yourself, well, I got some cash in the bank. I'm not going to buy my rounds of silver this week or this month because the price is well, I wasn't going to say too low. You want it to be low so you can buy, but because it spiked, I'm not going to go buy. It's in your control. Oh, price has spiked. I'm going to wait a little bit, let them come down, then go buy. It's totally in your control. But anyways, end of the video. I think as an absolute bare minimum, super bare minimum, 500. And for someone that says, man, I'm living on like Social Security retirement, still shoot for 500 if you can. But if you had 200 or 300 ounces, boy, it sure would help, I think, when things get going. I mean, you might be in a position where you say, all I need to do is have enough to pay off my house when I retire. The rest living off Social Security is no problem because I won't have a mortgage. You then can do the math. But again, if you're ready to retire in a year from now, 2 years from now, I don't know what the price of silver is going to be for you. I have no idea. Believe me, I'm wanting to see this thing finally shoot off once and for all. Let them destroy the markets, destroy the economies, and start this damn thing over. And watch these things go way up. Cash out, get the property, get your house paid off, do what you have to do, get out of debt, and say, okay, now I can live off Social Security or whatever else, doesn't matter, because all my main bills are paid, my mortgage is paid, I don't have a mortgage anymore. That's the name of the game. Like Lindsay Williams said a while back, get out of debt as fast as you can. Get out of debt as fast as you can. That's the name of the game. And that's what I've been trying to do. But like I said, I do use a credit card. Put a little something on there, paid off rapidly. 2 months, paid off. Because I must build my credit score back up. I'm right around 700 now. And I'm telling myself, it was only a year ago the foreclosure thing was finalized where they settled. But it is a foreclosure. That's on my record. And I already have a 700 credit score a freaking year later? That's insane, isn't it? I'll take it, and I'm going to keep building it up. Matter of fact, maybe I should go get a second credit card or something. Then again, I am paying rent here, so that counts as my credit score as well. That's probably good enough. Take care. Got to do one more video. Venezuela, National Guard being called out now.